In the not-so-distant future, humanity has expanded its reach far beyond Earth. Permanent colonies have been established on the Moon, transforming it into a hub of space travel and exploration. Advanced technology allows astronauts to journey deeper into the solar system than ever before. Mars has become a crucial outpost for scientific research and interplanetary missions. Driven by curiosity, mankind continues its relentless search for signs of intelligent life beyond Earth. Exploration has revealed both the wonders and dangers that lie hidden among the stars. In this vast frontier, every step forward brings humanity closer to its greatest challenges and truths. The story begins with astronaut Roy McBride recording a video log as part of a psychological evaluation. In his voiceover, Roy reflects on his lifelong dream of becoming an astronaut in order to serve humanity. Roy is stationed on the International Space Antenna, a massive structure orbiting just above Earth. Suddenly, a devastating power surge strikes the antenna, causing catastrophic destruction. The station collapses violently, sending Roy and numerous other astronauts plummeting toward Earth. As debris hurtles past him, Roy deploys his parachute, but it is damaged by the falling wreckage. Despite the near-fatal descent, he manages to land in a remote field, where stunned onlookers rush to his side before he loses consciousness. Meanwhile, similar electrical surges begin erupting all across the planet, creating widespread chaos. Roy is debriefed by his superiors at U.S. Space Command, Spacecom. They reveal shocking intelligence. The surges appear to be originating from Neptune, and they believe Roy's father, the legendary astronaut H. Clifford McBride, may be responsible. 16 years earlier, Clifford led the Lima Project, an ambitious mission to the outer reaches of the solar system to search for extraterrestrial life. The mission mysteriously disappeared without a trace, and Clifford was presumed dead along with his entire crew. Now, the new evidence suggests that Clifford may still be alive, and the unstable surges threatening Earth may be linked directly to him. Spacecom tasks Roy with a classified mission to Mars, where he will attempt to send a personal message to his father, hoping to re-establish contact. Bound by his sense of duty and loyalty, Roy accepts the mission. Privately, he reviews archived video transmissions Clifford once sent him, reflecting on their complicated father-son relationship. Roy is assigned a companion for the journey, Colonel Thomas Pruitt, an old associate and close friend of Clifford's. Their first destination is the Moon, where they will rendezvous with a ship bound for Mars. During their discussions, Pruitt suggests that Clifford may have deliberately gone into hiding, deepening Roy's doubts and questions about his father's true intentions. Before departing, Roy records a brief video message to his estranged wife, Eve, revealing his emotional distance and unresolved struggles in their relationship. Upon reaching the Moon, Roy and Pruitt join a small convoy with other crew members. However, while traveling across the lunar surface, they are suddenly ambushed by space bandits, ruthless raiders who prey on vulnerable crews. A violent firefight erupts on the lunar rover convoy. Several crew members are killed in the chaos, and Pruitt sustains severe injuries. Roy manages to fight off some of the attackers and narrowly escapes with his life, but the attack leaves him shaken as he begins to realize the immense dangers ahead on this mission. Before boarding the ship to Mars, Colonel Pruitt, now gravely injured, urges Roy to complete the mission in his place before being moved into intensive care. Roy then joins the crew of the Cephus, Captain Lawrence Tanner, Donald Stanford, Franklin Yoshida, and Lorraine Devers, who will accompany him on the journey to Mars. During the voyage, Roy inquires about Pruitt's condition and learns that he is about to undergo surgery, leaving Roy uncertain whether his father's old friend will survive. He also listens to a critical update regarding Clifford. Communications aboard the Lima Project vessel were deliberately disabled by Clifford himself, underscoring the urgency of shutting the entire operation down before more catastrophic surges devastate Earth. While en route, the crew intercepts a distress signal coming from a Norwegian biomedical research station. Roy and Captain Tanner board the station to investigate, only to find it seemingly deserted. Suddenly, they discover the source of the distress. A baboon used for experiments has broken loose. The animal viciously mauls Tanner, then turns on Roy. In a desperate struggle, Roy shoots the baboon, killing it. As Roy attempts to rescue the mortally wounded Tanner, a second baboon attacks. Roy barely manages to drag Tanner out of the chamber before triggering depressurization, which causes the creature to violently implode. Though Roy quickly seals Tanner's helmet with tape and rushes him back to the Cepheus, the injuries prove fatal. The crew solemnly conducts a funeral service before releasing Tanner's body into the void of space. Shaken by the incident, Roy records another psychological evaluation. He reflects on the terrifying rage he saw in the baboons, comparing it to the same unrelenting fury he had witnessed in his father, and even within himself. For as long as he can remember, Roy has carried a quiet fear of becoming like Clifford, a man whose brilliance was overshadowed by his obsession and anger. Upon arrival on Mars, the crew is struck by another powerful surge that temporarily disables their ship's systems. Despite the disruption, they manage to guide the shuttle to a safe landing at the Spacecom station. There, Roy is introduced to Director Helen Lantis before being escorted to meet with the station's leadership. Roy is tasked with recording transmissions intended for his father, Clifford. These messages are designed to emphasize the urgency of the situation and appeal to Clifford's cooperation. Initially, Roy delivers formal, carefully measured statements. Later, however, he records a deeply personal message, recalling memories of his childhood and the time he once cherished with his father. This emotional vulnerability alarms the station chiefs, who believe it may compromise the mission. As a result, they decide to remove Roy from further involvement. Roy is placed in a comfort room where Helen visits him. She shares that she was born on Mars and that her parents were part of the Lima Project crew, both of whom perished under Clifford's command. With growing anxiety, she asks Roy whether the surges could wipe out life on both Mars and Earth. Roy admits he cannot be certain. Helen then reveals a classified recording, which shows the grim truth. Clifford's crew had mutinied, demanding to return to Earth, but Clifford killed them all in order to preserve the mission. The footage makes it clear that Clifford has descended into madness. Helen also explains that the Cepheus crew has been instructed to destroy the Lima base with a nuclear payload. Convinced he must confront his father personally, Roy resolves to reach him. Moved by his determination, Helen discreetly helps Roy sneak aboard the departing ship. As the shuttle launches, the crew quickly realizes there has been a breach in the airlock and discover Roy's presence. Lorraine Devers and Franklin Yoshida attempt to subdue him, but Roy insists he means them no harm. In the struggle, the ship splits into compartments, hurling Devers face-first into a bulkhead, killing her instantly. Yoshida and Donald Stanford press the attack, but in the chaos both suffocate. Left with no alternative, Roy takes control of the vessel. Now alone, he charts a course for Neptune to reach his father and the Lima Project station. The voyage lasts several weeks, leaving Roy in total isolation. During this time, he reflects endlessly on Eve, his estranged wife, and on Clifford, the father he both fears and longs to understand. After an arduous journey, Roy finally arrives at Neptune and locates the long-lost Lima Project base. Inside, he discovers the preserved bodies of the crew who perished years earlier. Pressing onward, he prepares to carry out his mission with the nuclear payload. It is then that he comes face to face with Clifford, who calmly admits that he always knew Roy would find him. Clifford explains that the devastating surges plaguing Earth and the solar system are the result of the ship's damaged antimatter core. Roy pleads with his father to abandon the project and return home with him, but Clifford refuses. Obsessed with proving that his mission was not in vain, Clifford insists that there must still be intelligent life beyond the stars. He even urges Roy to stay and continue the work by his side. Roy, however, remains steadfast. His only focus is bringing them both back safely. Together, they venture outside to position the nuclear device. But as they drift in the void, Clifford sabotages their tethered path, firing his thrusters to propel them both away from the base. Roy fights desperately to hold on to his father, but Clifford, resigned to his fate, breaks free and drifts into the infinite blackness, leaving Roy to watch helplessly as he vanishes. Devastated but determined, Roy returns to the Lima base. He arms the nuke, then improvises by tearing off a piece of the hull to shield himself against oncoming debris. Using the blast from the detonation as propulsion, he launches himself back toward his ship. Against impossible odds, Roy makes it aboard just as the Lima base is consumed in a fiery explosion. Harnessing the momentum, he charts his course back to Earth. Roy's shuttle lands at a military facility where soldiers recover him. In a final video transmission, Roy reflects on the journey. The mission has shown him a sobering truth. Despite all of humanity's searching, we appear to be alone in the universe. Yet instead of despair, this realization fills Roy with hope, a renewed drive to cherish human connection. He vows to live fully, to love deeply, and to reconcile with those who matter most, including Eve. The film closes with the two of them meeting for coffee, as Roy embraces his second chance at life.